Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to take a look at Enduritek, a life shelf extension technology by Ari Gold. He's the CEO and founder of Enduritek. And we also have Katrina Golkowski. She's an attorney and angel investor. Thank you both for being on the podcast.
Morning, Josh.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Kat. Good morning, Josh.
So Enduritek, a life shelf extension technology. Ari, tell me a little bit about Enduritek.
With very simple nanochip, you can extend the shelf life of all liquids.
That's revolutionary.
First thing I'm thinking about is beer. They probably have a lot of waste, a lot of expense. That's probably a huge savings for a lot of companies that make liquids.
Yep, there's a lot of what they in the industry is called shrinkage.
So do you have any competitors? Obviously, there's a lot of people who want to use this. Huge opportunities to increase shelf life with a lot of liquids. Anybody using any technology like this?
Not that I'm aware of.
Ari, I had a question. I'm a consumer of, Coca-Cola in a bottle, a glass bottle. I drink beer out of a can. I eat soup out of a can. I thought it was pretty shelf stable for an extended period of time. Is that assumption incorrect?
No, that's a very fair assumption. If you use Anheuser-Busch specifically, they do have a born date. And when that born date is passed, they remove that from the shelf and destroy it.
So the costs are really low and you're able to lease this out for a really good projected amount. I'm curious about, and maybe we'll get into the future uses or whatever, but maybe the one thing that I've noticed is wine in the summer is very difficult. Everyone is out wine tasting, and yet a lot, or at least some of the vineyards won't sell you wine if you're going to be traveling in your car, because if it gets hot, it sours or expires, basically, whatever. Do you know if this product would help with that situation?
No, that's called a photon oxidation, and it has shown some effects towards photon oxidation as far as what's been measurable and visual, as far as the brightness of the orange juice. It didn't fade, but as far as application within wine, I have no idea. The application within wine would be more for the removal of sulfites, which are not a quality to add to any wine, and are used to preserve wine. And so with this technology, you could remove the use of sulfites.
Perfect.
So Ari, can you explain, this is a coating on the exterior of the bottle, correct?
It's a 30 micron fused quartz nanochip. It's been encoded with a program that reacts with the hydrogen bond in the liquid. That nanochip can be added towards any adhesive, paint, label.
On the outside?
Yes.
I saw from your slide that you may or may not need FDA approval. If the product is applied to the exterior of the container, why do you need FDA approval, or why would you possibly need FDA approval?
I've gotten conflicting attorneys' advice on that, so that's why I say may. Because there is some interpretation of the law. If I'm claiming that the liquid has changed inside the bottle, it could be interpreted to need approval.
Well, Ari, I think this is an interesting product. I like the social impact of reducing waste, and the technology. The total addressable market from an investor perspective is really interesting, and I look forward to seeing more from Qbottle.
So what are some future opportunities? There's creating bottles for direct consumer sale. There's licensing the application, licensing to container manufacturers of fruits and vegetables and other active solids, creating a water filter brand, creating a water brand licensing, creating a food nutrient for farmers to grow with the help of shelf life, etc. So it seems like a lot of opportunities.
Investors certainly like broader and broader applications of the same technology. That's for sure.
Yeah, and as we covered, there's a pretty quick break-even analysis, pretty good revenue opportunities. nice fat margins in there. So all in all, a very interesting product. One of the threats on here was the possible potential, I guess, for a competitor. There's nobody else doing this though. So I guess, how did you do this, and how can somebody else come up with, something very similar to what you have?
Inspiration comes at any point. Anyone can be inspired and create something. Um, so I don't know anything that is going to change the world as quickly as this technology has the potential to do, with the win-win-win. There's very little that has to be done. Let's say we license this for 1 cent to Budweiser, who makes 15 million bottles of beer a day, or 18 million bottles of beer a day from my last research. It could be more. That's $1.8 million a day license. That's $5.4 billion a year license off of 3 hours of work. 5.4 billion off of 3 hours of work. Name anything on the planet that is going to be win-win-win. So they're going to pay $1.8 million a day, but instead of them throwing away 5 million bottles of beer a day, they're going to sell 4 million bottles of beer a day.
Sounds like a win-win-win to me.
Right. That's going to extend the shelf life. That's going to save from having to throw stuff away. So yeah, that's a lot of cost savings, and definitely worth the money, it sounds like.
And they're not going to throw it. They don't recycle those bottles. It's too costly. They're thrown away. So we're talking about like a massive amount of resources to create something that 5 million bottles are eventually thrown away a day. And that's just Budweiser with a born date. That is a born date. That's very specific. But if you go into juices, they have a best buy, and that there's a range on that best buy. Now, if you could extend that range by a month, everyone's going to make more money.
That's significant.
Yeah, and the whole social conscious aspect of it too. There's a lot of investors and a lot of consumers that are looking for people that are doing good in society and in the environment, and both. So sounds like the perfect match.
Agreed.
So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I want to thank Ari Gold, the CEO and founder of Enduritek. Appreciate you being back on the podcast.
Thank you for the opportunity again.
Yeah, as well as Katrina Glukowski. She's an attorney and local angel investor. I appreciate you being back here as well.
Thanks, Josh.
So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.